chemical bonding. So this is a piece of chalk, is it? So it is a matter. It's one type of matter. Now I will see that. So what it is? The name atoms so came into existence. So one scientist is there. So before the name atoms comes, the name is given by the one scientist, that is Marcy Kanada from Indian side. He is an Indian scientist. Marcy Kanada. First he called that minute particles. So minute particles. So these are minute particles, no. So he called it one Paramanu. The first scientist, Indian scientist, Marcy Kanada. Marcy Kanada. So he called that. So each matter is, we know that it is made up of atoms. The word atoms coming to existence before that one. So he called that, the Marcy Kanada called that minute particles as Paramanu. What will that? Paramanu. So he called that one Paramanu. So what is the Paramanu? Param means ultimate. Param means ultimate. Okay. Anu means particle. Anu means particle. So before the name atom came to existence, so before that one, there one more scientist. So the Marcy Kanada. So he called it minute particles as Paramanu. So Param means ultimate and Anu means particles. Next, so after this scientist Marcy Kanada, the scientist, one more scientist came into existence there, that is Democritus. Democritus in 460 BC he came to existence. 460 BC, Democritus. BC. So he will tell that one. He gave the word. So he gave the word atoms. So Paramanu given by the Marcy Kanada. So Paramanu, the Democritus, he called that Paramanu as a atom. He called as a Paramanu as a atom. So that atom is word coming from the Greek word atoms. So it is coming from the Greek word. Greek word atoms. So he gave the name the atom. What we are studying now. So atom. So he gave the name. So the name atom is given by the Democritus, the Greek scientist. Is that Greek scientist? So he gave the name atom. Atom. So first they called Paramanu by Marcy Kanada. Then so the next scientist Democritus, he called that one as a atoms. Clear? Atom nothing but indivisible particle. Indivisible. Atom nothing but indivisible particle. Indivisible particle. It is a minute particle. We can't divide it again. It is a minute particle. We can't divide it again. So that's why it is called as a indivisible particle. So after this, so one more scientist, so Dalton. So he gave some of the theories regarding about the atoms. So the theory that is called Dalton's theory. The theory that is called Dalton's theory. Dalton's theory. So after these two scientists, one more scientist, that is Dalton, he gave some of the theories regarding about the atoms. So that's why that is the theory that is called Dalton's theory. So according to him, what he is telling there, according to him, matter consists of very small and indivisible particles called matter. Matter consists of very small and indivisible particles. They are called atoms. So as I told, matter consists of very small and indivisible particles. Indivisible particles, they are called atoms. So that is the first point, first theory given by the Daltons. according to Dalton's theory, the first point, the main postulate. So some of the postulates he gave that one. So the first postulate is the matter consists of very small and indivisible particles. First postulate, matter consists of small and indivisible particles called atoms. So that is the first postulate. So a matter consists of small and indivisible particles, that is called atom. The second postulate, atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. We can't create, we can't destroy the atoms. So atoms can, the second postulate, atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. So, according to Dalton's atomic theory, second postulate, what is telling? Atoms can neither be created nor be destroyed. We can't create atoms, we can't destroy the atoms. Okay. And the next, third postulate, atoms of an element are alike in all respects, but they differ from the atoms of other elements. So atoms of an element are alike in all respects. It means, so we know that one element that is made up of one kind of atoms. Element is made up of one kind of atom. So in that element, so element that is made up of one kind of atoms. No, each atoms has the same characteristics and properties. So each atom that is there now in that element. So by combining the same kind of atom, they will form the element. Is it that one atom in that element has the same characteristic and properties with the, if you compare it with the other atoms of the same element, but they are atoms of an element, they are different with the atoms of other element. Okay, so that is the third postulate. Clear? So third postulate, have you understand? So elements, it is made up of one kind of atoms. So the one atom is there now in that element, so it has the same property and characteristics. Okay, so that is different from the other element of an atom. That is different from the other element of an atom. That is the third postulate. And next, fourth postulate, atoms of an element combine in smaller numbers. Atoms of an element combine in a smaller number to form a molecule. So, for example, hydrogen, H2, is it? Hydrogen, it's a molecule. Here, two atoms of hydrogen is there, H2, O2, N2. So, two atoms of hydrogen. So, it is a molecule. So, two atoms of hydrogen, it is a molecule. Same type of atom. Same type of atom. Here, so oxygen, it is a diatom. So, it is a molecule. Is it? So, two atoms of oxygen. Same type of atoms, they are combined together form a molecule. So, this is the fourth postulate. And the fifth postulate, the atoms of one element combine with the atoms of another element in a simple ratio to form a molecule of compounds. Atoms of one element combine with the atoms of another element in a simple ratio to form a molecule of a compound. Clear? So it means, for example, take water. So its molecular formula H2O. So in each water molecule, so two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. Its ratio is 2:1. So its ratio should be, so if you take any water, its ratio should be 2:1 only. So then combine the simple ratio 2:1. So water, it is there means, so two atoms of hydrogen and one atom of oxygen. 2:1 ratio should be present in each water. Clear? So that is the fifth postulate. And the last postulate, sixth postulate, atoms are the smallest units of matter. So So we already know that atoms are very smallest units of the matter that can take part in the chemical reaction. So take part in the chemical reaction. We know that. So the minute particles, same type of atoms combine to form a element. So element of one atom they combine with the element of another atom. So that is a chemical reaction, is it? So that will give the chemical reaction. Hydrogen combines with the oxygen. So it will forms water. Water. So atoms are the smallest units of the matter, can take part in the chemical reaction. So in hydrogen is the element that is made up of one type of atoms, is it? And oxygen, it is also element. It is made up of one type of atoms. They are going to combine and form a water molecule. So that is a chemical reaction, is it? So atoms are the smallest unit of matter that take part in the chemical reactions. So these are the postulates, 6 postulates given by the Daltons. Dalton's atomic theory. Dalton's atomic theory. The first, 5th postulate. The last postulate, atoms are the smallest units of matter, can take part in the chemical reaction. Okay, so these are the postulates given by the Dalton. So Dalton's atomic theory. Subatomic particles. Subatomic particles. So subatomic particles. So atom consists of subatomic particles. So that is proton, neutron, and electron. Proton, neutron, and electron. So to confirm this one, the one scientist, the Faraday showed that the flow of electricity is due to the presence of charged particles in the atoms. Charged particles. So the flow of electricity, we already know that you learned in the physics, is it? The Faraday, he told that one, the flow of electricity, conduction of electricity is due to the flow of charges. So that experiment confirm that one, that atoms consist of charged particles, proton, neutrons, electrons. Okay. So who discovered the electron? Who discovered electron? J.J. Thomson. So electron is discovered by J.J. Thomson. J.J. Thomson. So electron is discovered by J.J. Thomson. And the next, the proton. Who discovered the proton? Proton is discovered by Goldstein. Proton is discovered by Goldstein. Proton is discovered by Goldstein. And next, neutron. Who discovered neutron? James Chadwick. James Chadwick. James Chadwick discovered the neutron. And next, what is the definition of an element? Elements are pure substance which is made up of one kind of atoms. Element is a pure substance which is made up of one kind of atoms. That is called element. Definition of atom. An atom is the smallest particle of an element that exhibits all properties of that element. Atom is the smallest particle of an element. Atom is the smallest particle of an element which exhibits all properties of that elements. All properties of that elements. That is called atom. Next, I will move to the next topic now. So, discovery of electron. So, I discovery of electron. Yes, look at the board there. I written three pictures on the board. Is it? Three pictures on the board. So this is a discharge tube. As I told, he conducted the experiment. The discharge tube. So it's a discharge glass tube. Discharge glass tube. So that is 15 centimeter long and 3 centimeter diameter is there. 15 centimeter long and 3 centimeter diameter is there. That is connected to a back. So this is the 15 centimeter long. This one. Okay. That is connected to a vacuum pump. Look at that. Connected to a vacuum pump to pump the gases. So inside gas is there. Inside gas is there. And so these experiments should be conducted at very low pressure. Experiments should be conducted at very low pressure. So the discharge tube that is 15 centimeter long and 3 centimeter diameter is there, and inside 2 electrodes is there. 2 electrodes. So that is one is cathode, another one is the anode. Cathode, negative side. Okay, anode, positive charge. Positive. So that is connected to a high voltage battery. That electrons are connected to the high voltage battery. Here we are applying 1000 volt. So we are applying this that J.J. Thomson applied 1000 volt. So this is the experiment setup. So what will happen here? So it's a discharge tube. Once again I will repeat that one. Discharge tube. Inside 2 electrodes are there. Cathode and anode. They are connected to the high voltage battery, and should apply very low pressure. Experiment should be conducted at very low pressure. Okay. So because inside gas is there, inside the discharge tube gas is there. So if you raise the pressure, the gases will not conduct the electricity. Okay, inside they will not allow the electric current to them. So that's why he reduces the pressure. So very low pressure, 0.01 mercury meter. 0.01 mercury meter is the pressure, very low pressure, and 1000 volt he is applying. 1000 volt he applied. Okay, so what will happen here? So even as I told, you will create very low pressure. At that time, from the cathode, the rays are started to emit. So when you conduct this experiment at very low pressure and apply the 1000 volt, so at the cathode electrode, rays are started to emit. So how it is get to know that in the anode side, you will saw that light green color light is glowing. Greenish light is glowing. So like a blink. So it is blinking. Greenish color light is blinking. So it is where the anode electrode side. So it tells that one. So when the 1000 volt is applied, that time, so greenish glow we saw in the anode electrode side. So it means, so the rays are coming from the cathode side. Rays are coming from the cathode side. Okay. So look at the right arrow marking. So these are cathode rays. The stream of ray particles. They are called cathode rays. The stream of ray particles. So that is the first diagram is showing that. So in the anode side, greenish light we saw that time when 1000 volt is applied at low pressure. So we saw the greenish glow color. So that is towards the anode side. In the anode side. Okay. So you want to confirm that one. Greenish color is glowing now. You want to confirm that one. So for that, what he will do? He will keep the light pedal wheel. You will keep the light pedal wheel between the 2 electrodes. Between the 2 electrodes, you will keep the light pedal wheel. So what will happen there? The light pedal wheel started to rotate. He confirmed that one. So the rays are cathode rays are coming from the cathode electrode. Okay. That time we confirm that one rays are coming from the cathode electrode. Okay. Then you want to know that one. It is a positive or a negative. Positive or a negative rays. Positive rays or a negative rays. So for that one, what he will do, he will keep electric plate. He will keep the electric parallel to the discharge tube. He will keep the electric plate parallel to the electrodes. Electrodes is there, no? The two electrodes is there, no? One is cathode, another is the anode. He will keep the electric plate parallel to the electrodes. So what you will observe there? So the rays are coming from the cathode so this is a positive plate, this is a negative plate, are moving towards the positive plate, positive electrode, positive plate. So that is the electric field. It is electric field. So one we know that in electric field one is positive, another is a one end is positive and another one is a negative end. So this is a positive end, this is a negative end. Okay, positive end and negative end. So the rays are coming from the cathode are deflected towards the positive plate. Positive plate. The rays are coming from the cathode are deflected towards the positive side. So I confirm that one, they are negatively charged particles. The rays are negatively charged particles because the positive and negative, they are attract or repel each other. It is a positive side, positive electric field. This is a negative electric field. Okay. Rays are coming from the cathode. They are deflected towards the positive end. So at that time, he confirmed that one. It is a negatively charged particles. The rays are negatively charged particles. Okay. So from these experiments, he concludes that one. So electron is the rays are negatively charged particles. The electrons are negatively charged particles. We conclude that. Okay. So I will explain one more time. So it is a discharge tube. Discharge tube 15 cm long and 3 meter diameter is there. Discharge tube or cathode ray tube. It is also called cathode ray tube. Okay. And inside the discharge tube, two electrodes are there. One is cathode. This is the cathode side. Another is the anode side. Okay, so these experiments will be conducted at very low pressure and at high voltage. Voltage should be high, 1000 volt. He is applying 1000 volt. So when he applied 1000 volt at very low pressure, so the greenish color light is saw in the anode side. You will see the greenish glow in the anode side. So that time. So something is happening in that discharge tube. You want to confirm that one. What you will do? The next will give the light pedal wheel. So that is started to rotate. So it means you conclude that one. The rays are coming from the cathode electrode. Rays are coming from the cathode side towards the anode side. Rays are coming from the cathode towards the anode side. Okay, so you want to confirm that one. It is a positive or a negative. The rays are coming from the cathode. They are positive or negative. So for that one, what you will do? You will keep the electric field. One electric field. So see that positive, negative. Okay, the rays are deflected. The cathode rays are deflected towards the positive side. Cathode rays are deflected towards the positive side. So you confirm that one from these experiments, the electrons are negatively charged particles. Electrons are negatively charged particles. So cathode rays, that means the cathode rays are negatively charged particles, now called they are electrons. The cathode rays he called as a negatively charged particles. They are called electrons. He will call that one. It is a electron. And these negatively charged particles are an integral part of all atoms. Integral part of all atoms. Integral part. So of all the atoms. So we know that one atom consists of subatomic particles. So that electron is also one part of that atom. We conclude that one electron is also a part of that atom. Okay. So then one more thing, electrons have both definite mass and definite electric charge, both of which are independent of the nature of the gas in the discharge tube. So inside, as I told, inside the discharge tube, So gases are present. So you will take helium, and so you will take other gases also. So if after taking other gases also, it is confirmed that one. So cathode rays are coming from the electrode cathode side. Cathode rays are coming towards the anode. Okay. By taking other gas also, you can confirm that one cathode rays are coming from the electrode cathode towards the anode. Okay. So these are the conclusion. So cathode rays are negatively charged particles. They are called electrons, and these negatively charged particles are an integral part of all atoms.